everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sandra if you have not been here before, and today I'm so excited. I've been very productive. I got up at 7. I'm doing my makeup for the first time in probably, oh my gosh, like a week and a half. So it's been forever. Actually, I guess not a week and a half. It's been like 6 days because I did a date night look last Saturday, but I did a voiceover, so it wasn't really me talking to you guys directly. And I haven't done this, and I'm so excited because we're going to K-Days today. So if those of you who do not live in Edmonton, and I'm sure they have these types of things in the States, but K-Days is Klondike Days, so it's just our yearly festival that is our fairgrounds. So we have like all the rides and the cotton candy and the popcorn and the candy apples and a huge center where they have a whole bunch of stands set up that sell really cool stuff. So we're going today and I'm so excited, but I've got like 4 or 5 errands to run before we even leave. And I got up, like I said, I got up at 7 and I did a whole bunch of editing work this morning and my bullet journal work, and that's all done, taken care of. So now it's time to play with makeup. So I'm going to do kind of like a festival look for the festival that we're going to today. So let's just get right into this, and I'm going to try to make it quick. So I've already moisturized. I'm going to go in with my primer, my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Skin Smoothing Face Primer. So I'm just going to use actually a little more than normal, this much, because I'm going to put it all over my face, and especially concentrating in my problem areas, but I press it into those areas, so on my cheeks, my nose, especially my nose, because I find I have a lot of pores right there, and on my head, because I find that if I prime my forehead before I put on foundation, the foundation doesn't necessarily sit as much in my forehead creases. I don't know what to call that. I don't want to call it wrinkles because it just makes me sound old. But I feel like I always do this a lot, right? Like, it's my expression lines. We'll just call it that. Alright, all done. So I'm using my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I think I'm going to have to switch it out for a new one. This one's pretty raunch, and I do clean it religiously, but it gets stained after a while. So I'm also using my Tarte Foundcealer. This is the shade 35 medium, wow, I can't talk, 35G medium golden. So normally I like to use the 4210 neutral, but I should have gotten the golden or like the olive undertone because the neutral just makes me look very ashy. And this has my skin tone, but it's a little bit lighter. So how I fix that is just by putting bronzer on top, and then also using my Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and this gives me more of a glow as well as some color because it does have very light color. I just wanted to also remind everybody that if you are using a sponge to apply your foundation, make sure that you wet it and then squish out the excess water. So never try to apply your makeup with a dry sponge because you will not have any success. And that is just a reminder, especially if you're not used to using a makeup sponge and you usually go in with a brush. Honestly, sometimes I even spray my brush with a little bit of makeup setting spray just to make it apply a little bit better. So I'm using the tip of my sponge now and just blending out the edges of this color corrector. And I am using the same one I've been using, the e.l.f. color corrector. And again, I'm not completely impressed with it, but it does a trick in a pinch. And it also covers up any dark spots as well. See, voila, all gone. And I'm using my Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Contouring Concealer. I haven't used this in a long time. So this is the 27S shade Light Medium Sand. I'm just going to, I'm not really sure. Oh, I like how this is so yellow. You really don't need a lot of Shape Tape. It covers so good. You know what? I wasn't going to contour, but I think I will today. I don't want my makeup to take that long today, but at the same time, I wanted to kind of pop and stand out because, you know, when you go to a festival, especially when it's in your city, you never know who you'll run into. There could be people there that I've known in the past. Like, for instance, I have run into my exes at the festival, and you know how you want to be for your exes. You just want to be like, you know, you want to be hot. So, and that's not to impress them, that's to show them what they're missing out on. Just for clarification. Alright, so let's tap out that concealer and blend it in. This stuff is fantastic. It covers so good. If you guys haven't tried this stuff, you should. And it is even easier now to order from the Tarte website, and I know they just had a fantastic sale on. So just, if you're curious, subscribe to their emails and they will email you and let you know when their sales are. So I'm going to use my Tarte Filtered Light setting powder. I just want to make sure that this product doesn't set in my lines. So I'm going to tap some of this product in the cap. I'm not going to use my sponge to set. I'll just use my brush. But I really just want to make sure that my forehead isn't caking up here because it's not looking that good. Never good when that happens. I usually set my eyes first, so let's go ahead and do that. This powder smells so good. It smells like vanilla. Oh, it smells like heliotrope. I have to say that. Ever since I got that perfume sample that said it was like heliotrope base, I've been obsessed with heliotrope. That's exactly what this powder smells like. Okay, so I'm just tapping out my forehead again. Quickly set it. And then I'm just going to blend this out with my large F20. So the brush I used before was my F06 Powder Sweep by Sigma. And I didn't actually add my Hollywood filter, but I haven't really put too much product on my cheeks, so I'm just going to quickly do that. This is the shade 5, and I'm literally just tapping it on with a little applicator. It's a doe foot applicator. Some on the nose. This is even more tan than my skin already is right now. I'm just going to gently, like really gently, so I don't disturb the rest of my makeup, tap this out so there's no like sharp line, and this will just give my skin a little bit of a glow. If you don't really like really bright highlighter, this is a good option because it's a nice light glow. I guess what you should do is just apply it before you put your powder on. So next I'll do eyebrows. I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in medium brown. This is almost it's also falling apart, but whatever. I've applied the Brow Wiz. I'm just going to put this clear brow gel on top to keep them in their place. I opened my new palette. So this is my Tarte Park Ave Princess. I even left the plastic piece on to show you guys. Yes, this is a brand new one. Ta-da! So excited. And it's so pretty. I loved this when it first came out. I still love it. So I'm going to go ahead and chisel my face. Let's go in with Angle. So Angle is the darkest shade here, and it is the matte shade right here. Wow, it is the darkest one, and then we might blend it out with Princess Cut, which is also matte, but it's a lot lighter. So I'm going to suck in my cheeks, start by my ear, and bring it up into kind of a semicircle here, and we'll blend it out with Princess Cut after. A little bit under the lip, a little bit on the sides of the nose to slim my nose, and then all around my forehead here, and I bring it down to my temples and blend it into the contour on my cheek. I know my cheeks look ridiculous right now, but I will be blending them out shortly. A little bit underneath my jaw. Okay, and now we're going in with the shade Princess Cut, which is this one right here, and I will blend out the cheeks. Okay, and next we're going to use a F10 powder blush brush, and I'm going to use the blushes from this Tarte Blush Bliss blush palette. I'm just going to swirl the brush in all of the colors, which is my tendency. Tap off the brush, give a little smile, and just pop it on the apples of your cheeks and blend up into your contour. And instead of swiping the brush, I just tend to kind of dab it on my cheek. I'll add a little bit to the nose, a little bit to the chin. And my makeup on my forehead is looking really splotchy, so I will probably go in with my setting spray and just spray my face until that just kind of disappears, and it helps all of the colors just kind of mix well together. We'll do that before I put on shadow and then again after. So I will use my Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Spray. Nice and fresh. I'll wait for this to dry. Okay, so I want to just go in with like shimmer shadow because I've got some awesome colors sitting in front of me and I'm so excited to use them. And I think I will, because I was going to go in with my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and start doing like a crease shade. But I don't think we're not gonna. So the first shade that I am using is actually going to be from the Solar Flair, BH by BH Cosmetics. I haven't used these palettes in a long time. I'm going to put it on dry first. So I'm using an E25 blending brush by Sigma. And the shade I'm using is Fireball. So it's this shade right here. It's Fireball, but it is orange. And these are all very shimmery. This is what it looks like on the brush. And let's start putting it on the eye. I can barely see it at all. So maybe we'll go in with some MAC Fix Plus and put it on the brush. So I'm starting on the lid, which is like completely backwards. I'm just doing circular motions, whatever, to get that color like on there. So just pack it on, and I'll probably bring it up a little higher. Put it all over the lid on the inside only here. Perfect. And now another brush. I think I will use this Buff and Blend E37. Nope, I lied, an E39. So I want to do a purple. I know it sounds crazy, right? But I want to do purple. So I think we're going to go in with the shade Gleaming on here. I kind of like Borealis too, but we'll see what Gleaming looks like first. So I'm just going to wet my brush right away without even trying it first. And I'm soaking the brush this time. So this is the shade Gleaming. I'm going to start kind of in the crease on the outside of the eye. We're going to have to wait for this to dry before we can actually blend it out. I don't want the purple to like overwhelm the orange, so I'm going to let it dry first, and then we'll go in and kind of blend it out. So now we'll just do highlighter first on the face. I'm using my Flower Beauty palette. This is the Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, and I love the champagne shade. So that's right here. So I will go in with my Soft Blend Concealer F64 that I love to use for highlight. Put some on my cheek where the sun would hit me first, or the light, or the sun, whatever you want to call it. Some on the nose. I like the tip of the nose to make it look like the appearance of a button nose. Down the bridge on the Cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin, and a little bit right here. This is like the cheapest palette ever. I mean, I think it was under $20, and it works better than most other highlighters I own, believe it or not. So I'm not lining the water rims of my eyes today at all, but we will probably put black liner on the top once the eyeshadow is done. For lip gloss, I'm going in with my Buxom Full-On Plumping Lip Polish in the shade Celeste. It is the most sparkly shade that I own. Because we're going to a festival today, it's just easier to maintain rather than a lipstick. Okay, so I think this might be dry enough now. So I'm going to take a clean brush, and I'm just going to see if I can buff out that top purple color first. So I'm going to use this E38 diffused crease brush. Just blend right up here. I don't want that to be really dark. You guys haven't tried BH Cosmetics. Again, it's kind of like, honestly, it's probably the same, maybe not quality, but the same price as like e.l.f. makeup, but the quality is so good. Mind you, they are all shimmer eyeshadows, so if that's something that you don't love, that could be, well, I guess they're not all shimmer shadows, just the ones I have, like all of the Galaxy palettes. They are all shimmer. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in with that first orange color I used. I don't think the orange is going to stand out on the lower lash line, but I think it'd be super cool to like do something crazy like a hot pink. So we'll do hot pink, just because we can. Or maybe we'll do vibrant. This is the shade Vibrant here, so it's kind of like a mix between the pinks here and the purples. And this is, of course, from the Aurora Lights palette. I love this palette. I might mix it in with Fluorescent here. Fluorescent and Vibrant. Now, I used my E15 to do that, and it just didn't work out for me, so I'm just going to go in with the shade Fluorescent. So we're going to darken up that crease with some more purple. So I'm really blowing this out on the lower lash line, and if you are, like, I don't know, my under eyes didn't, like, my makeup just isn't not applying very nice today. So this really helps to cover up any under eye areas that are kind of like not working out for you. But it's just nice to kind of take some clear powder after if you have any fallout. And well, it's honestly best to prevent it in the first place if you can, but if you can't, take a small brush, some clear powder, and just wipe it away like this. We're going to go back in with that purple shade, and I think I'm going to go in with the Borealis shade now, which is right here. I'm going to use my E45, my small tapered blending brush now, and I'm actually going to mix it with Magnetics. It's Borealis and Magnetic, which is like blue and purple, and we're going to put this in the crease. That is kind of cool, actually. And I'll bring this up and just blend it out really, really nice up here. This, like I said, these shadows blend out so nice. And I feel like I'm doing my eye makeup completely backwards because I always usually start with crease, but now I'm like finishing with crease. It's so weird. So I'm just going to go back in with that orange color and just make sure it's really popping on the lid there. And we will let that dry again. And I'm going to go back in with that brush I used with the purple and mix Gleaming and Borealis together and just concentrate on the outside of the eye here because I want the purple to be there, and we'll blend it up into that blue in the crease there. And we might bring that purple down a little bit and mix it in with that pink on the bottom lid and just leave it at the outside part of the eye here. And I'll take a clean brush and just gently blend up. First, I'm going to add a light shade to the inner corner and to the up here, like right above the brow bone. So I'm going to take a small smudge brush. I'm going to try the shade Vibrant here, which is like a silver color, and see how well this applies. It's not working that well, but I don't have a wet brush here. So I'll go in with Ombre, which is this white in the corner. Yeah, I'm just going to add a small little bit of wetness to the brush. That's a bit better. Okay, and then we're going to add a black line to the upper lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to pile on the mascara. So I am using my L'Oreal Luminous V-Line Mascara. I'm going to give my face one more spray with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and then I will show you what I did. So with my eyes, I actually lined my water rim with the orange shadow that I used up here. And I think it gives it a little something extra, and it looks really cool against the pink on the bottom. So my eyelashes don't look that crazy, but I am not wearing eyelashes like falsies to the amusement park because they just get so uncomfortable after a while, and we're going to be there for quite a few hours. So I think that is it. The only other thing I want to do is add some more color to the inner corner, and that white is just not doing it. So I'm going to try this Beam shade in the Solar Flair palette mixed with the Fireball shade. I want something to really stand out and look really bright, and I feel like neither of those shades is doing it for me right now. Again with that smudge brush and try that white shade again. Maybe if I really pack it on, it'll pack a punch. I don't know. There we go. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. There we go. I'm just gonna leave it because if I keep touching it, I'm just gonna smear this all over my face. So that is the completed look. And I know I haven't really played around with my BH Cosmetics palettes, and I want to, so keep tuned for more looks coming from these palettes. And please subscribe if you have not already. Hit that bell button to be notified the next time I post a video, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So we will see you guys next time. Take care.